Picture a world where a husband himself picks a lover for his wife, where intimacy with another becomes a sacred ritual and jealousy is considered a disease of the weak, where a woman can bear a child by another man, and her husband will actually be thrilled about it. Sounds insane? Like it goes against everything we hold dear about human values? But what if I told you that this tribe has virtually no divorces? That their families are stronger than ours? That their children are happier? And that their ancient tradition might hold the answers to problems that are destroying millions of modern marriages? Deep in the African desert of Namibia lives a tribe whose customs baffle anthropologists and turn upside down everything we call normal relationships. The Himba, a people where a wife can openly date another man with her husband's blessing, where a man personally applies sacred markings to his wife's body, giving her the right to take a lover. But here's the mind-blowing part. It actually works, has been working for thousands of years. How is this even possible? What secrets lie behind the red clay that Himba women cover their bodies with? What happens in the mysterious Okaruo ritual that even scientists speak of in hushed tones? And why is their relationship system so effective that modern psychologists are starting to study it as an alternative to our civilized morality? Heads up! What you're about to learn might completely change how you view marriage and relationships. Some facts are so shocking, you might want to close this right now. Don't do it, because it's right at the end that you'll discover the most important truth, why our civilized morality might not be the best solution for human relationships. Are you ready for a journey into a world where everything's backwards? Where freedom brings faithfulness and restrictions bring destruction? Then stick with this to the very end. But, fair warning, after this, you'll never be able to look at relationships the same way again. The sacred red clay. Clay ochre stains the skin sunset red, mixing with oil and herbs into a thick paste that shields from Namibia's ruthless sun. A Himba woman stands at her hut's entrance, her body covered in ochera, the sacred mixture that makes her untouchable to strangers' eyes and desires. But today, her husband will speak words that will flip everything we know about marriage, faithfulness, and love upside down. Words that in our world would sound like a death sentence, but here like a gift of freedom. This is how the Himba live, a people whose way of life seems like a paradox to us, where ancestral traditions interweave with understanding of human nature so delicately that they create a completely different philosophy of relationships. Here, among the red hills of Kaukoveld, a man can tell his wife, "Choose yourself a companion. This is my gift to you." The word that changes everything. In the Himba language, there's a word that has no exact equivalent in other cultures, okuruo. It's not cheating, not betrayal, not sin. It's a tribe-recognized right for a married woman to have a companion with her husband's permission and blessing. But this isn't just permission. It's a complex ritual of trust, wisdom, and understanding of the human heart. When a Himba man feels that his wife needs something more than their marriage can give her, new emotions, passion, that fire that inevitably dims in long unions, he doesn't give in to jealousy or prohibitions. He opens the door. Literally. He tells his wife, "Find someone who can light in you what I can't light right now. This will be your omupango, your chosen man, your special companion." This husband's decision isn't admitting defeat, it's showing true wisdom. The Himba understand a person cannot belong to another completely. Heart, body, soul have their own needs that change over time. Trying to confine these needs within boundaries only leads to bitterness and lies. Better to give freedom and preserve honesty. The sacred ceremony. Okuruwo doesn't begin with passion, but with ceremony. The husband must not just agree to his wife's relationship with another man, he must actively participate in choosing this man. This isn't blind permission to do whatever. It's wise guidance based on knowing his wife's character, understanding what she needs, and caring for everyone's well-being. The husband might suggest a candidate himself, often his friend, relative, or respected tribe member. Or he might approve his wife's choice if she's already got someone in mind. The key thing is that this man must be trustworthy, must understand the rules, and mustn't try to destroy the existing marriage. The chosen man, Omupango, also goes through his own kind of initiation. He must prove he can give love without demanding ownership, that he can be intimate with a woman without claiming the role of her husband, that he understands he's receiving a gift, not a right, and this gift can be taken back any time if the delicate balance gets disrupted. The sacred markings. Himba women cover their bodies with ochera, a mixture of red ochre, oil, and aromatic herbs. This isn't just makeup or sun protection. It's a sacred symbol that speaks to a woman's status, her place in society, her rights and limitations. A married woman wears ochera in a special way. It's a sign that she belongs to a certain family, but also that she has rights this family must respect. When a woman gets permission for okuruo, the ritual of applying ochera becomes even more meaningful. The husband can personally change the pattern on his wife's body, adding marks that give her freedom to meet with Omupango. This isn't shame, it's honor. It's a sign that the husband trusts his wife so much and is so confident in their bond that he can allow her to seek happiness in other embraces too. The red clay at this moment becomes not a boundary, but a bridge. It doesn't wall the woman off from the world, but instead gives her the right to greater freedom under the protection of traditions and with her family's blessing. Children born of freedom. In the Himba world, children born from a woman's relationship with Omupango aren't considered illegitimate or outsiders. They're accepted into the husband's family as his own. No questions asked, no reproaches, no different treatment. Moreover, such children are sometimes considered especially blessed. They carry within them the power of passion, the energy of free love, which might give them special talents or abilities. A husband raising a child from his wife's companion doesn't feel humiliated. On the contrary, he takes pride in his wisdom, which allowed his family to become bigger, richer, stronger. The Himba believe children are always a gift, regardless of who their biological father is. What matters isn't who conceived them, but who will raise them, who will give love, who will teach them to live by the tribe's laws. The biological father, Omupango, also has the right to a relationship with the child, but this right is secondary. He can visit, give gifts, participate in raising the child, but the main father remains the mother's husband. This doesn't create conflicts because all boundaries are set in advance, all roles are clear, all participants understand and accept the rules. The philosophy of abundance. The secret to Okuruo's success lies in the Himba's special mindset. While many cultures are built on a philosophy of scarcity, shortage of time, attention, love that needs to be guarded and hoarded, the Himba operate from a philosophy of abundance. There's enough love for everyone. There can be more happiness if you share it. Joy doesn't decrease when you give it to several people at once. Jealousy, in their understanding, isn't protection of love, but its destruction. A person who's jealous shows not the strength of feelings, but their weakness. Strong love doesn't fear competition because it knows its worth. A wise husband doesn't forbid his wife from seeking joy in other relationships because he understands. Forbidden fruit is always sweet, but permitted fruit often loses its appeal. Many Himba women's relationships with Omupango end naturally when the initial passion passes. The woman gets what she was looking for, new emotions, confirmation of her attractiveness, adventure, and returns to her husband with fresh energy and gratitude. The husband gets back a wife who's happier, more confident, more appreciative of what they have. The rules of freedom. But even in this system of freedom, there are strict rules. A woman can't choose an omupango from a hostile tribe, or someone who might bring harm to the family. She can't neglect her duties as wife and mother for her companion. And most importantly, she can't demand a breakup to start a new family with a mupango. Okuruo is a supplement to marriage, not its replacement. It's a chance to get what's missing in the main relationship, but not a reason to destroy what's already been built. The woman remains her husband's wife, mother to his children, keeper of his hearth. Omupango remains a special companion, a source of joy and passion, but not someone claiming the main role in her life. If a woman crosses these boundaries, if she starts neglecting family for her companion or demanding a change in her status, the husband has the right to revoke permission for okuruo. And then the relationship must end immediately. No arguments or protests. Modern challenges. Today, the traditional Himba way of life faces serious challenges. Influence from religious missionaries who condemn polygamy and free relationships. Pressure from modern morality that demands monogamy and faithfulness. Urbanization that destroys tribal structures and traditions. Many young Himba who've gotten education in cities or experienced global culture's influence start feeling ashamed of their ancestors' customs. They see okuruo as backward and savage, not understanding the deep wisdom behind this tradition. But tribal elders continue passing down knowledge that the human heart can't be locked in rigid frameworks, that love isn't a resource you need to conserve, but a force that grows from being used, that true faithfulness isn't about rejecting everyone else, but about always coming back to the main person in your life. The lesson for the modern world. The story of the Himba and their practice of okuruo might surprise, inspire, or outrage, depending on how you look at it. But it carries an important message for the modern world, where divorce rates are climbing, where people increasingly feel trapped in marriage, where secret affairs destroy families. Maybe the problem isn't human nature that needs to be suppressed and controlled, but systems that don't account for this nature. Maybe honesty matters more than rules, and wisdom matters more than morality. Maybe giving freedom is the only way to preserve love. The Himba, in their red garments, among Namibia's endless landscapes, continue living by laws that seem impossible to us. But their families are strong, their children are happy, their elders die surrounded by loving people. And maybe their ancient wisdom is worth pondering, even if it contradicts everything we've grown up believing. After all, love isn't a cage you need to lock another person in. It's a garden where you need to let them bloom.